So last time I shot a video like this, I was talking about why Tom Holland is particularly not the best interpretation of Spider-Man that we've gotten on the cinematic screens. Now I'm going to talk about what my thoughts are on Andrew Garfield. So I'm working from reverse all the way from Tom Holland back to Tobey Maguire before No Way Home comes out. So let's talk about him. So one thing I want to say about Andrew Garfield is a lot of people tend to hate on him because his movies particularly were not let's say ideal, to say the least. And I know I got my glasses on, so I look a lot smarter than I actually am. But I just want to say right now that Andrew Garfield actually had the potential to be the best Spider-Man that we've gotten.
Just let me go.
Is that a knife? Is that a real knife?
Yes, it's a real knife.
My weakness, it's small knives.
Just let me go.
Anything but knives!
Oh, it's so simple.
One, just the look of Andrew Garfield. Now, remember I said Spider-Man isn't particularly a attractive guy. Andrew Garfield is attractive and he doesn't really look like he would be a nerd. But the way they betray him and betray his Peter Parker is much more smart and brilliant, which is what I tend to think of when it comes to the character. But his overall characterization and coming full circle with his Peter Parker in particular is not very well handled compared to the previous interpretation that we've gotten. The other reason why people may not have liked Andrew Garfield per se may have been because it was a little bit too soon.
Are you
gonna cry?
When you think about it, Spider-Man 3 came out, what, about like 5 years before then? So maybe it seemed a little bit too soon to replace Tobey at that point because Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was still fresh in everybody's mind, and I noticed the lights reflected my glasses, so here we go. But I will say, out of all the actors that have played Spider-Man on screen, Andrew Garfield has definitely been the best actor per se. Now, not with the material that he's been given, but in terms of his acting career and his acting in general, he's definitely the best Spider-Man that we've gotten so far. I'm just not a fan of his Peter Parker. His Peter Parker is very underplayed. There are elements that I'm going to discuss that don't really make the character for me particularly, and it does feel like a couple of things do bog him down. But in terms of a Spider-Man, he has it down.
I'm glad you're not one of those cops that rides a horse. That's why you come with me. We'll go somewhere, we'll talk. Away from all these people, okay?
Yeah, yes.
Stay with me, Max.
You set me up.
No, I didn't set you up.
You lied to me.
No, I'm trying to help you. Let me help you.
Like his quips, the way he gets serious when he needs to, the way he emotes through his mask without actually seeing any expressions on his face is just perfect for the Spider-Man. And he has some of the best looking scenes. I won't say the best action scenes per se, because those for me go to Tobey still, but the best looking scene from a visual standpoint of like looking at it. He has the most beautiful looking Spider-Man scenes that we've gotten, especially the web slinging. But the reason why that I don't particularly enjoy Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man as much as Tobey per se, and it's the same issue I keep bringing up, he is not an average man. Sure, he has a lot of average man qualities to him, but the reason why I say he isn't an average man is because of the connections to his parents. I've never been a big fan of the spy parents storyline, the spy Parkers. Never been a fan of that. And the way they had the spider be made from Parker's blood, his dad's blood, and having him get bitten by it, and that's the reason why it worked, just kind of makes it seem like he was predestined to become Spider-Man when the idea is that any person could wear the mask. So that really bogs down the component to his Spider-Man for me. And you have to care about Peter Parker to care about Spider-Man. If you don't care about Peter Parker, then you don't care about Spider-Man. I found myself genuinely caring about his Peter Parker, but not with the material that he was given and the story that was surrounding him. And that bogged down his character quite a bit because there were not too many lessons learned from him And arguably, the only biggest lesson I can think of is the death of Gwen Stacy, which honestly, Gwen Stacy as a character is a big positive. I do prefer her to MJ. Like, I think in terms of Gwen Stacy, I prefer her to Kirsten Dunst's Mary Jane because she works much better, she feels more human, and that's something that works with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. All in all, I mean, there's not too many complaints I have about his Spider-Man. It's just a couple of things, like if they would have just changed some things with the story and done some things like get rid of that secret parent storyline and had not as much going on in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and maybe lightening up the tone of the first movie and not having him look like he's drunk in every single scene in The Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, I don't know. I'm here to see Dr. Connors.
Right. You'll find yourself to the left. You are here for the internship.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll find your badge to the left.
Oh.
Then he would have been the best Spider-Man that we've gotten yet. But for now, the writing wasn't really as top tier as a lot of the other films I'm going to be discussing later, or particularly Tobey in general. But yeah, he's not bad, and I do like him much more than Holland, but I don't like him as much as Maguire. And I feel like there are things that they could have changed that could have changed that for the character. Like simple fixes, like get rid of the parent storyline, get rid of all the other branches that they were trying to stem off in like a sequel. That, or better yet, correct some of the characters that are surrounding him, like the Lizard and other characters, like they aren't really too developed. And the point of a superhero as well, the thing that's big about them is the hero is only as strong as their villain. They don't really have too much strong villains or too many strong villains. So personally for me, Garfield could have been great, he could have been amazing, he could have been the best, but he has an amazing Spider-Man, but not an amazing Parker. Thank you very much for watching, and if you guys liked the video, make sure to subscribe today to join the Isaiahization.